Do you notice that when November arrives, everything feels a little blurry? Work still runs, classes are still packed, but inside it's like someone turned down the volume on your faith and focus by one notch. Your energy is decent in the morning. By late afternoon your head feels heavy, and at night you float along the crackling sound of notifications, video after video. If you consider yourself a chosen one, not in the sense of being better than anyone else, but in the sense that you feel called to live more awake, more honest, and more helpful, then November is a special month. It's the bridge from a busy mid-year into the chaotic end of the year. One wrong habit, repeated for a few weeks, can pull you off your awakening path, and by December you'll wonder why you're exhausted, easily irritated, unable to concentrate on prayer or meditation, and why the small practices that used to nourish you, reading, journaling, listening to gentle music, disappeared as if they never existed. The easiest mistake for ages 18 to 35 in November is confusing intense motivation with steady awakening. You've been sold the idea that change only happens when the fire is blazing, a KPI slam dunk, a viral video, a mantra that flips your life overnight. So you chase strong emotions, an extra coffee at 9 p.m. to finish the plan, a 10-hour focus playlist, a to-do list stacked like bricks, hoping the high will carry you through the week. But spiritual awakening doesn't need fireworks. It needs a foundation. Your foundation lives in your body clock, in a sane dopamine rhythm, in how you treat yourself during the hours when no one is watching. November brings shorter days and less light, and your brain naturally craves quick rewards to compensate. The algorithms know this and serve you emotional candy. You see a clip about mystic signs, a teacher promising sudden breakthrough, a prediction that sounds made for you. You watch one, then another, and when you finally turn off the screen your heart is racing while your head feels empty. That is not awakening. That's an altitude boost fueled by dopamine, and tomorrow morning it will charge interest against your peace. If you're nodding because you recognize yourself, don't beat yourself up. No one is immune to the equation long night plus strong content plus tired mind. You just need a new strategy. Tonight, leave your phone outside the bedroom for 1 hour before lights out. Put a glass of water on your nightstand as a tiny promise that you'll drink it before touching a screen. Don't call it iron discipline. Just call it respect for your body. Tomorrow morning, pull the curtains so natural light hits your eyes 5 minutes earlier than usual. 5 minutes is enough for your circadian clock to get the message. The day starts with real light, not blue light. While washing your face, breathe 4 to 6. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Repeat 3 times. You'll notice your breath does what late-night coffee couldn't. It returns the steering wheel to you. Another common mistake is turning your inner life into a productivity contest. You see other people posting thick journal pages, streak counts for daily meditation, lists of signs they noticed this week, and you feel behind. You force goals that don't fit your actual life just to have something to post. You decide to finish a book in 2 days even though your schedule is already full. You plan to wake at 4:30 a.m. even though you work late. You try a deep fast protocol while your stomach protests. You corner yourself, and that corner has a name: burnout. Once burnt out, you slide back to old habits, and the self-blame loop begins. Maybe I'm not a chosen one. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Not true. You're just using the wrong measuring stick. The awakened don't move faster. They move in the right rhythm. If you must pick one, slow down this week. Choose screen-free lunch. 30 minutes focusing on taste, chewing, and your body will do more for you than an hour of raise your frequency videos that leave your mind buzzing. When you bring attention back to the body, you reopen the door to the present. And the present is where awakening lives. What about ambition? You ask. I'm 25, 28, 30. I want to break through. Ambition is beautiful, and it needs a support system. November doesn't ask you to put away your dreams. It invites a new approach. Shift from flashy hype to steady cadence. Try the simplest minimalist trick. Pick one spiritual practice you want to nourish: prayer, reading a page of wisdom, gratitude notes, or just 10 minutes of silence, and anchor it to an existing cue, right after brushing your teeth, or the moment you slide your chair under the desk. Don't ramp duration too fast. If 10 minutes feels much, start with 3, set a timer, and stop when the bell rings. From 3 you'll want 5, then 8, and one day you'll realize you didn't become stronger. You just trusted small steps long enough. Let me close this part with a picture to carry through November. Imagine climbing a gentle slope in cool weather with a water bottle, a thin notebook, and a pen in your backpack. Every 500 meters you pause, breathe, take a sip, and write one line, "I am here." You don't take photos to post. You look at trees, clouds, and your own soul. When you come down, you don't feel like you shattered records. You feel whole. Wholeness is the foundation of every real breakthrough. Once you know you need a new strategy, many of us fall into another trap, thinking that simply turning off social media will fix everything. You delete apps, switch to grayscale, lock your account, but the emptiness creeps in and you reinstall. We're not only hooked on apps, we're hooked on the fast reward rhythm. So along with limiting, you must replace. Replacement isn't a morally superior version of scrolling, like 2 straight hours of self-help videos. It's real-world, body-based experiences. Sunlight, wind, smells, sounds, movement. November mornings are golden for remapping your daily rhythm. If you study or work at 8 to 9 a.m., give your body 15 minutes outside beforehand. No park. A balcony or alley works. Press your palm over your heart for 1 beat, look at the trees, and ask a simple question. Who do I want to be kind to today? The brain loves questions tied to action. Choose one person, one tiny act. A supportive text, a hug for your partner, a glass of water placed on a coworker's desk, and your spirit now has direction. With direction, it stops hunting shortcuts. Next, treat your body as a signal tower. At 18 to 35, we often treat it like a high-mileage car. It survives late nights, sugary rewards at midnight, a week without movement, then one brutal workout on Saturday. In November, you can keep high mileage, but the cost is scrambled signals. You wake up and your brain thinks it's 3 p.m. because blue light bathed your eyes until 1 a.m. You reward yourself with a mega-sweet drink after a long day, and by night your heart's rhythm is off and your head is tight as a wire. You promised to meditate, but once seated your body fidgets. It's not lack of willpower. It's a body broadcasting mixed signals. Start with a pact. 72 hours of signal sync. For 72 hours, keep your bedtime within a 30-minute window, curb sugar after 7 p.m., keep your phone an arm's length away when you lie down, and set an 11 a.m. intention ping, the time many people fade at school or work. Your 10-word intention could be, I choose to go slow and deep. Today I choose kindness, or your own line. It's a stake in the ground reminding you that life is on purpose, not on autopilot. Another rarely named but universally felt issue, blurry relationships. Your 20s and early 30s are the era of almosts. Almost dating, almost friends, almost collaborating. November exposes the almosts. End-of-year schedules demand commitment, but gray zone relationships drain invisible energy. You wait for their text, reread chats, rehearse speeches for the next hangout, and say none of it. Gray zones freeze the soul. You sit to meditate and your head runs scripts. The exit isn't cutting everyone off, it's bringing light in. Over 7 days, choose one relationship to clarify. Start with a short, blame-free message describing your need. I value you and want us to understand each other better. If you're open, could we grab 30 minutes this weekend to talk clearly about what we are and how we want to move forward? If they dodge, you've gained information for a decision. Clarity isn't about winning. It's about freeing your mind from the middle of the road. When your soul is unblocked, practice has a place to land. You might also spot a yearly pattern. As the year closes, you want to change your life in 30 days. You buy a heavy course, Take on a huge project. Write a goal list stretching to New Year's. Expectations soar, reality crawls, disappointment blooms. You decide you're not chosen enough. I'm not asking you to shrink your dream. I'm asking you to dream like a contractor. The dream is the blueprint. The timeline is the phases. November only needs a foundation phase. If your dream is to create uplifting content, don't set goals to launch a channel, publish 10 videos, and hit 50K subs in 3 weeks. Use November to anchor the habit. 20 minutes ideation each morning and 20 minutes audio polishing each evening, whether you publish or not. 3 weeks later you're holding 700 minutes of craft reps in your hands, and your unique voice begins to appear. When your voice appears, channels, videos, followers arrive as consequences. The same with the inner life. Don't jump into a 10-day retreat when your heart is noisy. Use November to practice 10 minutes of silence daily. By day 21, silence no longer scares you. You start to crave it. When your fingers itch to open that familiar app, or your heart wants to send a placeholder text, keep a picture nearby. A room with a window to a yard, a wooden chair, and a warm cup. Each evening you sit there for 5 minutes, place a hand over your chest, and ask, "Where was I kind today?" If the answer is, "In that message to my tired friend," or "In 10 minutes of phone-free dinner with mom," smile. If the answer is, "Not yet," don't scold yourself. Make a date with tomorrow. That room is the core of your spirit. When the core holds, even the storm of notifications can only rattle the surface. By now you've gathered the first pieces. Stop chasing emotional spikes, reset the body's rhythm, replace instead of only restrict, bring clarity to gray zones so your spirit can anchor. There's one more November ambush, believing you must do it all alone. It sounds contradictory. Inner work is personal, but personal doesn't mean isolated. When you try to solve every problem inside your head, your brain reuses old pathways. You think you're digging deeper, but you're digging a hole. Chosen ones don't prove they can tough it out. They ask for help at the right time. Help can be as simple as a call that says, "I'm tangled lately. Do you have half an hour to listen this week?" It could be a small group reading a page together and sharing the line that touched them. It could be booking a therapist to learn what your body says when your mind insists everything's fine. Sometimes help is asking your best friend to hold your phone during dinner. Asking doesn't make you weak. It makes you honest. You'll also face a very young kind of resistance, impatience for visible results. Inner work isn't a gym where you watch muscles grow weekly. Signs of progress are quiet. You react slower when attacked. You wait for one more green light before crossing. You sleep better because your phone stays off the bed. The sentence, "everything must make sense," loosens its grip and becomes, "I don't need to know everything to choose kindness." These aren't story-worthy, but they are bricks for a peaceful year-end. If you still want a metric, use a thin notebook. Each night write 3 lines. One kind thing you did, one thing you learned about your body, one thing you let go that once would have dragged you into an argument. The 3 lines aren't for show. They're a mirror to see how far you've shifted. November is also pressure month. Deadlines, exams, last-minute pushes. Under pressure we often cut what seems unnecessary. 10 minutes of silence, a 15-minute walk, a real meal, a clarifying conversation. That final mistake can wreck the whole build, sacrificing what keeps you alive to prove you live busy. If you must choose, keep what feeds you first. What if results arrive a day later? You're not a machine. You're a person. People need rhythm. People need meaning. Let your November outcomes smell of meaning, not only of hurry. Meaning comes more from how you do it than how fast it gets done. Then one morning you'll look out the window and realize you're different, even without a single dramatic moment. Your hand reaches for the phone a little slower. You appreciate warm water traveling down your throat. You text someone without craving an instant reply. You open your notebook and write not for likes but because the words are true for you. That's when awakening stops being a concept and becomes a way of life. That way makes you calm in the current, brave enough to say no to what drains you, gentle enough to say yes to what lightens others. If you want a pocket line, maybe this: instead of "do more to feel worthy," try "stay long enough to see you already are." Before we close, do one small thing with me now. Plant your feet, release your shoulders, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, 3 rounds. While breathing, think of a friend who might need you. Grab your phone and send one non-preachy line: "You came to mind today. If you ever need to talk, I'm here." Hit send and put the phone away. This doesn't shout or sparkle, but it warms the wire between you and the world. Chosen ones keep a small lamp like this, not to show off, but to show the way. If any of this rang true, tell me in the comments. What will you keep this November, and what will you release? I read every share because it reminds us none of us walks alone. If this video helped, tap like so the algorithm lets it find the next person who needs it, and subscribe for more warm conversations like this each week. But the most important part isn't a button. It's the tiny step you take after this video ends. Drink a glass of water, open the window, let the light touch your eyes, and choose the nearest kind action. Spiritual awakening isn't destroyed by lack of miracles. It erodes through small choices repeated the wrong way. November gives you a chance to reverse it with small choices repeated the right way. You already have enough to start: a longer breath, a slower sip, a kind message, a phone-free hour in bed. Those small things, stacked together, become the hand that carries you through the year's end. May your November be light yet deep, busy yet unhurried, awake yet gentle. And if you forget tomorrow morning, it's okay. Remember at noon, or at night, or the next day. The path isn't running from you. It's waiting for you to return, one breath, one step, one kind decision at a time.